While wearing armor, you jingle and crinkle. But into your plans will it throw a wrinkle? Wear a mail shirt and sneak up on the foe? Can it be done? Tune in and you'll know. Hey friends, Lauren here, and today I want to answer a question that I had, a question that kind of popped into my mind last week, and I wanted to do some experimentation. So, with the help of a mail shirt and a decibel meter on my phone, I'm going to answer the question, how noisy is chainmail? Because really, if you have a role-playing game, you're writing a story, whatever it is, let's look at that armor and find out a little bit more about what I actually have. And is it as noisy as we think it is? Well, the quick answer is no, it is not as noisy as we think it is. So the decibel meter here, when I'm normally speaking, it's 70 decibels right now. So I'm going to hold it at arm's length because the microphone is here and the phone is now here. So just off camera on either side, we have our meter and our microphone. So I'm recording this and my voice, as it's coming out of my mouth, is 70 to 80 decibels, depending on where the inflection is on the word. Okay, 70 to 80 decibels. Now, if I'm... That's peaks at 50 decibels. So, it doesn't actually jingle, doesn't actually jangle. It's a little crinkly. Part of the noise is generated by friction between the gambeson underneath and the mail. But yeah, I'm watching it, and when I speak, it goes up to 80, but the armor itself is only 50. Of course, we have to convert that into different terms because we're not going to have decibel meters in a fantasy role-playing game where people are wearing chainmail. So, what does that mean? Well, I'm going to try whispering, and I'm going to see what the value of the whisper is at arm's length. So I'm going to whisper, and I'm testing it, and I don't even know if you can hear this, but you can see my lips make certain noise when I'm trying to make some sound. 45 decibels, peaking at 50 if I really push. If I exhale, 60, 62. Okay, so this is quieter than someone with an exhale. This is slightly louder, about a whisper. So let's move the chair out of the way, as you usually do. Whee! Alright, so let's imagine. Here I am, I've got this at arm's length. Situation. I have to sneak up on someone. I'm wearing a mail shirt. I have the dagger. Maybe it's a gnoll or a hobgoblin. I don't know. It's your game. And is it going to be a chokehold takedown or is it going to be an actual stab? Again, your game, your story, what you're writing. I probably want to be kind, but hey, that's fine. We know the trope. It's the backstab. It's the rogue, the thief, sneaking up. So here I am at arm's length. So you can imagine this is as close as I got to the opponent, and about 58, maybe 60 decibels. So I'm still louder. So you can imagine in a situation if you had other people, characters, whatever, non-player characters talking nearby. There was a party. It's at the market, and you're creeping the alley, and there's the guard there, and you're just gonna come up. There's a lot more noise probably there. And, you know, crowd situations are easily 90 to 100 decibels when people are talking. There's excitement, there's shouts, it all adds together, it bubbles and builds up, so even at the edge of that crowd, you're probably still at that 70 to 80 range. Now, if I'm just going to walk, so I'm going to step back a little bit, and it peaks at 40 decibels. So, again, I'm not jingling, I'm not crinkling. There's some sound, but it's not necessarily that the rings of the mail ring out. They don't actually sound like steel, not that much. So if I'm just walking along normally, slowly, I can keep it to about 35 decibels. So even with this armor on, I could probably slowly sneak up, and it's not that detrimental. If I wasn't wearing it, sure, there's a little bit less sound, but even clothing makes sound when it moves. So there's always going to be sound, there's always going to be something. So if you're setting your baseline, let's say it's a role-playing game and you've got your leather armor for your character, and that's your baseline, there's not that much of a penalty for wearing a male shirt. You could probably secure the sleeves somehow. I'm going to put the phone down here so I don't need it anymore. You could probably have leather, you could straps or something. You could be wearing a jupon, a surcoat. There are clothing options that, you know, knights and squires, things with, you know, heraldic devices on it to symbolize who they were, that goes over man. That might help muffle the sound. So you could be wearing this under something, and it wouldn't be as loud. So you're not hearing big jingly jangly clangly armor. Male shirt is actually different. And I would have thought that it would probably be as loud as me speaking, but I've worn the shirt before and it hasn't really stood out as making sound. So I thought, I've got to do this experiment. That's what I figured. And yeah, so my normal speaking voice versus the sound of the male shirt, very different. Very different indeed. So I am louder than the shirt of Chainmail. Alright friends, that's all I really wanted to do today. It was a little experiment and share it with you. Do remember, subscribe, like, and of course comment, because your comments shape the content. It's always important. Remember to take cake. Oh, I would like some cake right about now. Preparing this stuff is a little bit hot and, you know, tiring, but no cake. Take care, stay safe, and keep on swinging.